Okay, so normally I don't get on here and make videos for YouTube because I, usually think it's just stupid, to be honest. But, excuse me, I think it's necessary at this point. And maybe, excuse me, pardon me. Maybe at this point it's because I want to vent. But it's also, I hope, a learning experience for a lot of people, because I think there are a shit ton of people out there who need to educate themselves and to recalibrate their brains on what it's like for somebody doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of these so-called gig economy jobs or whatever they call them. I recently watched a video on YouTube. There's a few channels I watch when it comes to the, DoorDashing content. Paid to Drive is one I like. Meaty Mama, I like her. Aaron's Gig is another one I kind of recently found. I watch all these different channels and gauge other people's experiences versus my own. I live in what's considered Eastern North Carolina. And the area I live in is predominantly blacks, which is to say they make up 55% of the population here. I've lived in North Carolina since I was stationed here in 2009, so it's been a minute that I've lived here. I grew up in Boston, and then I was stationed, like I said, here in North Carolina in 09, March of 09. I've only been DoorDashing for about 4 or 5 months. No, about 4 months, off and on. I've only been doing it full time for about 2 weeks. As a means to pay my bills. Excuse me. Just like everybody else, I got more bills than I know what to do with, unfortunately. And I'm doing anything I can to earn money. I worked overnights at a gas station. Now I'm doing DoorDash. I've delivered pizzas. I've been a carpenter. I was a mechanic. I was an auto technician, I should say, for GM for a few years, till my body I couldn't do it anymore. But my point is, in making this video, is to try to educate some people on some misconceptions that are out there that people have, okay? Because a hornet's nest got stirred up by that idiot who decided she wanted to pepper spray those other idiots' food, okay? Now, I say they're both idiots because, as far as I'm concerned, they both are. Both parties, okay? The woman who sprayed the food is an idiot for obvious reasons. But the people who had the food delivered also suck. Because it's been reported, at least in the information that I've seen, that she was upset over the tip, which was $2 on a $38 order, or whatever, however much the amount was. I don't care if it was a $5 order, okay? Tipping $2 in 2025 is ridiculous. However, I literally just took one a half an hour ago that was paying $6.75 going 9.6 miles. And a lot of people will hear those numbers and go, what the hell? Why'd you ever take that? Well, because here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, those are the offers you're going to get. Why? Well, I could get into why, but chances are all that'll do is cause an argument in the comment section about how it's just racism. No, it's not. It's fact. Okay? The fact is, the majority of blacks don't tip. And they're proud of it. They don't think they should have to. I've discussed it with many of them. Okay? Like I said, I just had one. She ordered IHOP. She ordered a big old thing of shit from IHOP. She works at a nursing home in one of the towns next to Goldsboro, in LaGrange. The order was paying $6.75 going 9.6 miles, I think it was. When I dropped off the order, after you drop off the order is the only point at which you'll see what the payout was. Who paid what? How much DoorDash paid? How much the customer paid? DoorDash paid $6.75. Well, that, you know what that means the customer paid then. $0. No tip. It's 4 o'clock or 4:45 in the morning right now. It was 4 o'clock in the morning when that order got placed. And she didn't feel a need to tip. And that's, unfortunately, a regular occurrence around here. People need to recalibrate their fucking brains and start realizing when people say tipping a driver, you're not tipping the driver. Okay, you're paying them for what they're doing. Okay, yes, you tip a waiter or a waitress because they're taking down your order, they're bringing it to the kitchen's making it, they're grabbing it, turning around and giving it to you, and then making sure your drinks are filled. Okay, a driver is literally going to the restaurant, picking your food up, your order, using their own vehicle and their own gas, their own wear and tear on their own vehicles, driving it however many miles away the customer happens to be, and dropping it off. Now, that's not including all the time that, excuse me, that the driver has to sit and wait for the order to be done, because oftentimes you get there, the food's not ready. You know, Chick-fil-A is a notorious one for that. IHOP is pretty bad. Okay? We're not paid for any of that. DoorDash doesn't pay us for our time like that. DoorDash doesn't pay us for gas or tires or oil changes or brakes. Okay? These are all wear and tear items that, as a driver, is on us to pay for it and on us to take care of. We're almost in 2026. There is no excuse for anybody who's ordering a luxury service like food delivery, which, make no mistake, is a luxury. It's not, you're not entitled to food delivery, contrary to what some think. Okay? Food delivery is a luxury. And if you can't afford to tip the person who's bringing you food, then you have no business ordering food. Okay? I have two jobs and three incomes. Okay? There have been many times where I decided not to order food because I didn't have enough to give the driver a fair tip. The same with going to a restaurant. If I don't have enough to tip the waiter or waitress a fair tip, then I won't go. Now, unfortunately, most people, especially down here, they don't give a shit about that. Oh, well, I have enough to pay for the food and that's it. Then I guess the waiter or waitress, they're just not going to get anything. Or the delivery driver, they're just not going to get anything. Fuck them. If they don't like it, they can get a different job. You know what? If everybody had that fucking attitude, you wouldn't have anybody to deliver your food to your sorry fat asses when you're sitting at home waiting at 2 o'clock in the morning for your McDonald's. Okay? People need to start recalibrating their fucking brains and realizing by using the word tip, it doesn't mean you're paying them for something they're doing extra. You're paying them to do their job, which you're asking them to do, because you either can't do it or won't do it. Your little delivery fee that you're being charged by DoorDash, that ain't shit. That's $2 or $3 at most. And most of the time, DoorDash waives that fee, so you're not paying anything other than whatever the cost of the meal is. So all these people want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry about how, DoorDash drivers are quote-unquote entitled. No, the entitled one is the asshole who decides they're going to order food, sit on their ass, wait for it to be delivered, and not tip the person, or not pay the person who's bringing them their food. That is entitlement. Because you believe you're entitled to food delivery, as if you shouldn't have to pay extra for it. Hopefully, this rant of mine will at least wake up one or two people, even if it doesn't wake up the whole village. Maybe it'll teach one or two people to maybe just rethink when the next time they go to order food. Hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe I should tip a little bit. Maybe $5 should be a minimum at this point. Okay, I don't care if the delivery's going a mile. If you're either lazy or unable to get the food from a mile away, it doesn't matter. You should still be paying the driver for doing a job. The fact that people don't think they should have to, especially nowadays, is fucking disgusting. I'm so glad I was raised with manners and class and dignity that I would never dream of going out and ordering delivery services or going to a restaurant and not giving the person that's providing me the service a fair pay for their work. Okay? Now, you know what? I'm going to just leave it there and just say, some of you people need to wake up and just understand that food delivery is a luxury, and if you can't afford it, then you shouldn't use it. And it shouldn't be on the delivery driver, whoever that happens to be, to go out and get a real job or get a different job if you don't like that we're not paying you for what you're doing. No, you should be paying for what somebody is doing for you. Okay? Vehicle maintenance is extremely expensive, especially nowadays. And I do most of my own work, and it's still expensive. Okay? I just drove this truck, my little SUV here, and I had to replace an AC compressor because it went out. Right? Due to all the driving I do for DoorDash. That was $380, and that was because I did it myself. That was just for the pot. You know how long it takes me to earn $380 doing DoorDash? A long fucking time. Because there's nothing but upside down orders. Okay? $2 going 6 miles. I see those every day. And every night. Why? Because people down here and people all over the country feel entitled to food deliveries. It's not a right. It's a luxury. Treat it like it is. Do better. Be better.